Action!
South Bronx, the South Bronx, South Bronx.
And the b-boy lifestyle is not, training 17 hours a day and going to events. You know what I mean? It's actually being immersed in the culture. It's not just the dance, it's how you dress, it's how you talk. You know what I'm saying? It's the music you communicate to. Yeah, my life has changed drastically just knowing this, just understanding this and accepting my role in all of this. Well, my first real inspiration was the people on the block. I had learned early 70s, I would say late 70s, I would say 78, 79, around there. I had a cousin named Milton. My cousin Milton's a state trooper now. He's an officer, and he was the first person to ever explain to me the concept of hip hop. He explained to me the concept of two turntables and a microphone. You know what I'm saying? And a mixer. He explained to me people dancing, the breaking, all that stuff. He vocally explained this to me verbally, and I kind of painted a picture in my mind, but these were just stories my cousin told me. As I started growing up and getting older, I was inspired by a lot of cats who used to frequent my neighborhood. I come from the Fordham Road area section of the Bronx, and Fordham Road is like, for starters, it's a shopping district. That's where like all the stores are. You want to go get clothes, things like that. You go to Fordham Road, right? And it was also like a melting pot of people because everybody went to Fordham Road. You wanted to show off your new clothes, you went to Fordham Road. You wanted to go find girls, you went to Fordham Road. So being in that area, having to be living right there in that area, I was exposed to some real cool people. You know what I'm saying? What they did wasn't cool, but when I say cool, I mean as far as their swagger, the way they dressed, the way they talked. They had lots of style, lots of flavor. You know what I'm saying? And it was two brothers specifically, three actually. One of them was called Squirrel. Another one was called Wilski, rest in peace. And another one was called Rip Seven. These three brothers were the inspiration to me as far as how they look, the complete package. Later on, I started learning that there was like breaking, and I started getting into the breaking and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And I remember there's a street in the South Bronx called Spofford Avenue. There used to be a jail there called Spofford, actually, and it was for underage inmates, people under 18 years old. But that section was very desolate. So they would have block parties, and there was a street right around the corner called Casanova Avenue. And one time they had a block party there. They closed off the streets, and the whole block was a party. And I remember it was the first time I went down in public around people that I didn't know. And I went down, and some cat came out of nowhere and smoked me. You know what I mean? Just destroyed my whole world. And I was like, damn, what's going on? And I guess he saw that I was a little like hurt about the situation. And he walked up to me and he told me, yo, if you're gonna be breaking, if you're gonna be boy, you gotta expect that. Cause this is what it's all about. You gotta prove that you're the best. He said, I saw you dancing, I proved that I was better than you. He's like, you gotta get used to it. You can't get mad, you can't get your feelings hurt. And that was my very, very first lesson in breaking, that this was all about the battle. And if I lose, then I lose. I come back and make it stronger. You know what I'm saying? I never saw the guy again. I used to go back to that neighborhood when I started getting better because I wanted to battle him again. Never saw the guy again. afterwards I seen him like he made some hip house song and video, like he was rapping over house music, and I was just watching TV one day and I was like, yo, that's the cat that smoked me. But that was my very first lesson and inspiration to compete because I was always a competitive kid. I was into the martial arts when I was younger. So, and I used to try to go to the tournaments at the PAL. So I was already into competitive sport. But when I found out this breaking thing was about the battle, it was still another competitive sport to me. It was still confrontation. It was still about, who stands out, who's better. And from that point on, I made my whole presence a battle cat, a battle animal. It was just about being a battle animal. We used to look up to guys like Rocksteady Crew, Dynamic Breakers, later on New York City Breakers. And yeah, we had dreams about doing shows and making money and maybe making movies like they did. But my whole persona was always a battle cat. To me, it was all about the battle. I performed because that's what all b-boys wanted to do in those days. We wanted to perform, we wanted to make money, we wanted to get that ghetto celebrity status. But I was always about just the battle. And from that point on, it was on like Desert Storm. You feel me? It was all out war from that point on. Everywhere I went, it was about who am I going to battle today? I would go to a party or a jam and I would just look around and see. Because back in those days, you knew a b-boy when you saw him. Nowadays, it's not that easy. You got surfers and skateboarders that dress like us. You feel me? So it's not that easy nowadays. But back in the days when a b-boy walked in a party, you knew he was a b-boy. And you already know if the right music is going to come on, me and this kid is going to tango. You can't handle stress. What I did was redirect it. You understand what I mean? I turned stress into aggression. I turned aggression into style. You feel me? Um, if when I came back into the game, I left breaking in 1986. I came back in 1998. I entered my first battle in 1999 at the age of 33. Now, if we go back to before that moment when I came back, if we go back to before that moment and you look at battles, there was no aggression. It looked like practice. And everybody was smiling and everybody was trying to show off their moves and things like that. When I came back with the aggression from all the cats that I grew up watching, like Hot Feet Rockers. So when I came back on some real aggressive, up in your face gangster style, and everybody hated it. Everybody couldn't not stand me because of it. You understand what I mean? They was like, oh, he's too aggressive, or he's an asshole, or you supposed to be humble. No, breaking is not humble, and this is what I first showed to the world, that hardcore aggression. To me, it was desperation. It wasn't a battle. It was desperation. I was desperate to win. I didn't want to show off. I didn't want to be in the freestyle session video. No, I was desperate. I needed to win. You understand what I'm saying? And despite the bad criticism, if you look at today's dancers, they all want to be hardcore, gangster, aggressive, all up in each other's faces. You know what I'm saying? And then as soon as the music stops, they want to be happy b-boys again and come over and shake your hand. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how I handled my stress. I took my stress and I turned it into aggression. And that aggression, it became a style. You understand what I'm saying? And it worked for me because I was that person. I am that person. I still go out. I went out, I went to New Orleans, with my lady. We was at a bar. She got mad at me because I was an asshole to the bartender. That's me. You understand what I mean? It's not an act. It's not how I'm going to express myself or this is the way I want to seem or my strategy. No, that is me. I'm a very aggressive person. I like to be respected. I demand my respect. So when I came on the dance floor, I came with that same mentality. You understand what I'm saying? I always said it. I don't battle to win. I battle for meat. You know what I'm saying? If I don't win, I don't eat. You know, so it's basically that was always the mentality, man. I have to eat, and this is the way I'm gonna eat. And somebody here is going to have to show me why I can't eat. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you throw a piece of steak in a cage full of lions, you know, only one lion's gonna come up on top and eat. You know what I'm saying? And I always wanted to be that lion. This is what people believe, but it's not like that. I was Zulu Kingz in 1995. I became Zulu Kingz. 94, 95, became Zulu Kingz. In those days, you only had three people representing Zulu Kingz really hard. Just three people. And that was Pop Master Fable, Mr. Wiggles, Frosty Freeze, rest in peace. You understand what I'm saying? Then they put me down. You know, the Zulu Nation put me down. They made me Zulu Kingz. Bambada was like, you know, you be Zulu Kingz, you represent the b-boy element, and I was Zulu Kingz in '95. I didn't become Rocksteady till 1999. You understand? Um, uh, Being in Rocksteady to me was dope. You know, it is the most influential crew in the history of the dance. Probably the most important crew, you know, after Zulu Kingz. You know, Rocksteady is the second most important crew on the whole planet because not only did they take it to a fame level on an international level in the 80s, but they also preserved it, you know, and Rocksteady deserves that credit for that. You know, so when I got down with Rocksteady, that was really, really special for me. Um, of course, because I'm in a crew doesn't mean I could change the way I am. You know what I'm saying? There was lots of things. Crazy Legs didn't like that I would like. This is just one example. Like I am very open about things I like to do. I like to drink. I like to smoke my jolo. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, little things like that. It was like, well, you represent Rocksteady. We have an image to uphold and stuff like that. So there was little conflicts within myself. You know, it wasn't so much conflicts with the crew. It was more conflicts within myself because I understand the whole, you know, image thing. But at the end of the day, the most important image is mine. You understand what I'm saying? And I have to come back home to the ghettos and to the hood. And I cannot go out there. I cannot be on TV. I cannot be on the radio. I cannot be on the internet and behave in a way that's not me. You know, where people from my neighborhood who know me and grew up with me will look at it and be like, yo, I know that nigga. That nigga ain't like that. That shit right there is fake. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Fake isn't even in my vocabulary. You know, so it was inner conflicts within myself in the beginning. Those inner conflicts led to having conflicts with the president of that crew, you know, and the president in that crew makes all the decisions. And part of one of those decisions was Alien Ness is kicked out, you know, and I had this brought a lot of turmoil within me and Rocksteady, other members that I didn't have turmoil before because they were scared to speak up. You understand what I'm saying? They were really really scared to speak up. They were scared to they would talk to me and be like, "Yo, what's going on is not right." Yada yada yada. But I would say something, but you know, I don't want to get kicked out the crew. Or you know, this is my career. One person once said, "This is my career." I'm gonna be honest with you. Being kicked out of Rocksteady was the best thing that ever happened to me. And as far as career goes, I exceeded every single member that was down with me. You understand what I'm saying? And didn't speak up and was worried about their little careers. You know what I'm saying? All them cats, they ain't making noise like Alien Ness is making, you know? Around that time in 2000 is when I was traveling as a roadie for Africa Bambaataa. And Bambaataa's exact words was, Ness, you're not a yo-yo. You can't be a yo-yo. You can't have the president of that crew throwing you out and pulling you back in whenever he needs you. Because that was basically the situation. It wasn't that they needed me, it was that they needed a body, and it just so happens that this body knows all the routines and things like that. And Bambaataa's exact words was that you're not a yo-yo, and he told me you are a leader. You should start your own crew. And I remember saying, Bam, everybody got a crew. It's really hard to establish a crew and bring them to the level that I would like them to be. And that's when Bambaataa say, well, you know what? Why don't you just take Zulu Kingz? You take Zulu Kingz, start off Zulu Kingz, and do what you got to do. That was November 1st, 2000. By March of 2001, I expanded Zulu Kingz from the Bronx and had members in California. By 2002, I had members all over the United States and eventually all over the world. You understand what I'm saying? And it was easy. I'm not saying that it's because of me. It was just easy because the name Zulu Kingz was already established. But you give me anything established and I will take it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Anything at all. That's just who I am. That's how I get down. So that was the beginning. But a lot of people think that I left Rocksteady and then became a member of Zulu Kingz. I was Zulu Kingz like almost about 4 years before I even got down with Rocksteady. So that's basically what happened. And what I did was take Zulu Kingz and made it a crew again. Before that, it wasn't a crew. There was just members. Like I said, you have Pop Master Fable, Frosty Freeze, rest in peace, and Wiggles, and they would always represent Zulu Kingz. Fable representing Rocksteady Zulu Kingz. Frosty Freeze represented Rocksteady Zulu Kingz. Mr. Wiggles, Rocksteady Zulu Kingz. You understand what I mean? But in those days, Zulu Kingz was just a honorary thing. You know what I mean? It was just an honorary title. It wasn't really a crew. It wasn't established as a crew, as an organized conglomerate. And that's what it was that I did. I took an already established name. It was given to me. I took an already established name and I first made it a crew and then proceeded, made it a family, and then took it to the next level and made it a brotherhood. And that's what sets Zulu Kingz apart from every other crew in the world, including Rocksteady. Rocksteady, I thank them a lot because everything I learned about what to do as a leader, I learned from Rocksteady crew. And everything that you're not supposed to do as a leader, I learned from Rocksteady crew. So I give Rocksteady crew a lot of credit because they were like my university as far as getting prepared to lead Zulu Kingz and do what I did with them. The Polish b-boy, the heart and the spirit is no different than the Bronx b-boy. And my response was, I don't need Zulu Kingz. I will show up with a whole posse of Polish b-boys that will slam any Rocksteady member out there. Dobra, dobra.